Yo guys, Lit Games here and welcome to a new video. Today we are going to be doing another Reddit video. You guys did really well on the last Reddit video, so yeah, we're going to be doing another one. Today we're going to be doing what is the craziest way you've seen someone cheat on a test. So let's get into it. This first one says, a while back in this business law class I took, we had a final that was online. Multiple choice, had to be completed in 90 minutes, and there were 90 questions. We had a minute per question for a business law class and each of them were pretty detailed. A couple classmates asked if I wanted to take it with them and I declined. So anyways, I heard that half the class ended up taking the final together. They started and ended at different times. They assigned groups of 3 to 10 questions each. They for certain questions, I'm guessing that should be then. And for certain questions they decided to choose different answers so they didn't have the same answer as the rest of the group. One person had a running list of answers they found. That is in detail just to get just to cheat. No way. So we're on to the next one. It says, a kid in my grade 11 social studies class made a huge poster sized cheat sheet and hung it on the building across from our classroom so that he and several other students could see it when he looked out the window. The teacher never suspected anything until the principal happened to walk by outside and noticed it and gave funniest look at our classroom through the window. Someone got in trouble, but secretly I think the principal was actually kind of impressed. That is what? Can you imagine? That is like to a next level. Although I'm sure they got in a lot of shit for that. Because you got caught red-handed. Although, actually that's quite a good way of doing it, because if you get caught, everyone can deny. Like, they're not going to know who did it. So, yeah, like, if you're going to do it that way. Because you can just deny. Although, teachers have a thing where they can, like, see whose handwriting is whose. But, yeah, that's a good way of cheating. My brother has diabetes, so he didn't want to study for his maths test. The class before he gave himself too much insulin so that his blood sugar would drop in the middle of the test. He asked if he could go to the nurse's office to check his blood sugar. The teacher took his test and told him to finish it tomorrow. Before he left, he wrote down all the problems to the test and went home and solved them. That is another level. You just fucking risk your life. You just I swear if you are diabetic and then if your insulin levels go like too far one way or the other, it is proper dangerous. Don't recommend that to anyone whatsoever. Had a friend try to learn Braille so he could cheat in Spanish. He soon realised it was just easier to study Spanish than learn Braille. Plus he had no real way of generating Braille cheat sheets. What's the point of learning another language to cheat on a language? That is the most fucking stupid thing I've ever heard of. I know someone who had all the answers on their smartwatch. This was because before they got super big. Now I'm pretty sure that that's not true because maybe it might have been for a while, but now they check them and you can get disqualified from that, so that's a bit of an outdated one. Because 100%, like, if you get caught with a smartwatch, you're donezo. As a teacher, I had a totally different person try to take an oral English test in place of one of my students. It was obvious because I knew all the students, despite having less than 200, that's equal to 200 students that semester, a stereotype of white people thinking all Asians look similar, and I definitely knew the students who had enough English to argue politics. The exam was fun, we had a good conversation, and the student got the only F in the class. I'll tell you what, loads of, I thought because I did Spanish at school, I thought that was going to be really hard, like, speaking exam, but they do, if you don't know it, they do, like, really push it. Like, you won't do as well, but they'll, like, proper, like, push you for an answer, and then, like, so you don't even really need to make full sentences, you can just sort of make it up in your, like, head and just, like, say the words you know, if you know what I mean. And, like, even if you haven't been listening in Spanish, I didn't, you should be able to, like, know a few phrases. In this way it says, in a listening language test, a smart guy would cough if the correct answer was A, scratch his ear for C, fiddle his pencil for D, and most brilliantly do nothing if the answer was B. So that does work, although it's proper bait. Well, like, I've never tried it, but I imagine it's proper bait, because if you're just coughing throughout the whole exam, like, they're gonna figure out that, like, whether that's right. Although the comment below this says, this is basically what happened on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire with Charles Ingram, who later got arrested and went to court because of it. I do actually remember this. If you look this up on YouTube, feel free. Basically, they've got someone in the crowd and he's coughing, and then he managed to like get the million, but then because they looked through it, look through the footage, because obviously they have to edit it the same way someone would have to edit a YouTube video. They have to edit like TV shows, I believe. Actually, I don't think they picked up on it during editing, but like when it got released, they finally like caught on that everyone thought he was cheating. So yeah, he lost $1 million, and yeah. Interesting story though. If you do want to see it, I think it's got like 3 million views or something. Video ridiculous. Saw a stack of, I don't even know what that word is. Aquafina. Definitely butchered that. Lying around in a friend's dorm room, and noticed that the nutrition facts and the ingredient space was blank. When I asked about it, he proceeded to show me a template on his computer to type out answers onto the labels, blank spaces. He prints out the cheat sheet, wraps it around a spare water bottle, and keeps it on his desk while taking the test. So basically, they're not like your well, especially in England. Obviously, I don't know how it works in America. Feel free to tell me how it does work. But every time you go into an exam hall, you're not allowed anything on a water bottle. You have to peel all the labels off, and you're just like allowed plastic. You're also not allowed a certain type of bottle cap as well. You have to it has to be, I can't remember what bottle cap it is, but yeah, you're not allowed. I think it's the screw-on ones, like around screw-on ones. You're just allowed like the ones which you're allowed to like sit on the cap, like the cap-on ones, if that makes sense. So yeah, that again wouldn't work. So this one says, geography, the teacher was quite old with very thick glass. One of my friends simply wrote and drew random things on the blackboard, then erased it to make it look like a dirty blackboard, wrote the test subject on the blackboard, then gently erased them just enough to be readable from the back row. The whole class cheated on that day. Thing is, obviously that's just because of their teacher, but they would have been screwed if another teacher walked in. They were lucky again on that one. And obviously in most exams, I don't know what you call them in America, but in England we call them invigilators, which is like external people who like come in to just sit there in your class, so like you got no bias or anything, and then they just sort of like, there's always like 5 or 6 of them in an exam hall, maybe less, maybe more, depending on how big your school is. So obviously you're not going to be lucky enough to have 6 people who are blind. So again, that would not work, but it's a good idea. In high school, my US history professor had us turn in our phones at the front of the room during exams to make sure no one used them cheat. Well, annoying for us, I suppose it gave him one less thing to worry about it when looking for cheaters. About halfway through the semester, my professor had us switch seats, and I ended up next to this girl near the back of the classroom. When the next exam rolled around, she turned her phone in with everyone else. During the exam, I watched her as she proceeded to pull out a second phone and use it to look up answers. In England, like if you get caught with a phone, obviously you get expelled from exam. I don't know what it's like in America, but you have to put your phone into your bag, like anything. You're not allowed anything in your pockets. The bags at the front of the room, so they do this. Except yeah, if you got caught with your phone, you'd be screwed. You can get expelled from exam board, and also I think any, like, not just that exam, you can get expelled from any other exams you're doing under that exam board. So highly not recommended. That's in college, and I noticed a guy sitting next to me is cheating off my test. For some reason, I decided to help him out, so I just let him keep on looking. Eventually, he starts making weird hand motions. I realise he's asking me to turn back a page, in for a penny, in for a pound, so I do. We go through 3 whole pages together, and eventually he's whispering questions at me. Ridiculous. And out of nowhere, he farts louder than I've heard anyone fart before. Anyone in 20-foot radius turns and looks at him. I keep my head down, finish my test, all the while he doesn't look at me or signal to me again. I left and never saw him again. That's the craziest I've seen, not because it was clever, but because it was the ballsiest turned weirdest cheating I've ever seen. That's the weirdest story I've ever heard. Right, so guys, this will probably be the final one for this video. I'll feel free to like send me what you want to see, or if you've got any good Reddit threads you want me to react to. But final one is, I taped a sticky note into the line of my low-cut shirt. I guess this is a girl then. The teacher was a guy and noticed me staring at my own at my own boobs, and we locked eyes for about 4 seconds before he sighed and turned away. Never spoke about it. Lol. I mean, obviously, like, these guys have like a lot more place to hide them, so they're lucky on that front. But yeah, guys, if we can reach 20 likes on this video, I think we have hit 20 likes on my previous 2 videos now, so thanks for the support. But yeah, guys, I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you guys did enjoy, and peace.